All right. Well, hey ladies, welcome to my channel. I'm Christian Galloway, and I have a special guest with me today, Markeisha. And so on this channel, I've been talking about embracing the gift of motherhood. And so I wanted to bring on a special guest who I really admire her journey of motherhood, how she's driven to produce. I'll let her get into it, but just in her, she's very goal driven. She's very driven to produce for the kingdom of God. And so I wanted to bring her on. And Markeisha, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Markeisha, mother of a 1-year-old baby girl, um, entrepreneur. Just started diving into writing books and doing coloring books for kids.
All right. So let's go ahead and just kind of get into it. You have a daughter, right? Who's one. Tell us how your daughter has changed your life as being a mom.
Oh, patience. That's the first thing. Patience. Oh my God. Before, it didn't take much for me to just go off or get irritated. Now I'm calmer, more understanding when it comes to certain things. Actually listen when she's trying to tell me something because she's trying to talk so much now. So it even helps me just with every day or dealing with people on a regular basis. Patience is definitely one of the main things. She's helped me want to go get it even harder than I did before, for sure. And then I know I can't just do things how I would have did them prior to having her because I'm not thinking for me, I'm thinking for her at this point.
Right.
So those things have definitely changed me. It just made me, having her just made me want to go harder.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I think sometimes when, like you said, before becoming a mom, before having a child, you just only thought about yourself. So how you wanted to respond to people. It was just, in a sense, we don't think about it, but we're only thinking about ourselves before we become moms. And so just having kids, it just makes you think, okay, it's not just me anymore. Like there's somebody looking up to me. Like my decisions are not just for me, it's for my child as well. And it can impact them in a great way if we're not thinking about it. So I love that. So was becoming a mom, was it expected? Was it unexpected? What was that like for you?
Definitely unexpected. And I tell the story behind it is crazy, honestly. Prior to me even finding out that I was pregnant, I'm getting older. I mean, I'm not just super old, but you know, most people or most women are having kids in their 20s.
Right.
Have a kid, so I was in my 30s. So I always had a issue with my cycle. So I hadn't had a cycle in like 4 or 5 months.
Really?
So I was going to the doctor just to see was everything okay, and you know, just even talk to them about that, not even trying to have a kid in that moment, but just making sure that I was doing everything right for myself. So when I was ready, I'll be prepared. They checked everything. I wasn't pregnant at that time I went.
Wow.
They told me I was good. They wanted me to come back to do a sonogram just to see what was going on. Came back 2 weeks after that initial visit when they did blood and everything. Still, everything was fine. The lady said she was just going to give me medication to jumpstart my monthly so I can get back on track. And I was like, okay, that works. But she was like, don't start until the first week in June. So it will be consistent. Like, don't start in the middle of the month. So I was like, okay. And I was driving one day. This was about a week or two before I even started the medicine. And something just said, take pregnancy test. And I'm in my head, I'm like, for what? That's what I'm thinking because I knew I wasn't.
Right.
I had just went to the doctor twice. And these people told me I wasn't pregnant. So
They had
I'm
given
like,
you a pregnancy test at the doctor's office
they
already?
gave me a urine test and they did blood work and they did a sonogram.
Wow.
So I'm like, I knew I wasn't. So I'm like, why am I taking the test? But it was almost like a thing, was like, just be sure before you start
Mhm.
taking this medicine. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take it. So randomly one day, ran in the house, and I literally was running the house to grab something, and I was running back out. But
Mhm.
in the midst of me going to the restroom, I was like, let me just take this test. Took the test, threw it on the counter, got myself together, and I looked at it and it was positive, and my heart just dropped. And I was like, what? I was like, wait. And I just instantly started shaking and I called my mom
Mhm.
because I'm like, I'm confused right now.
Yeah.
And of course, she didn't even answer the phone. She was like, I'm in a meeting. So I
Mhm.
just sent the picture. She left out that meeting because she was like,
I
what is going
bet.
on? She was like, what is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I'm so confused right now. I was like, that can't be right. I was like, something is
Right.
wrong. So it was definitely unexpected because I had literally just went to the doctor and they told me no. And when I called the doctor and told them I have positive pregnancy, she said, oh no, yeah, you need to come in. We just saw you. So I know there's like no way. And the lady was like, if you are, you can't be too far along. So when we do a sonogram, don't be surprised if you don't see anything. And I was like, okay, but I still want to know. Like,
Mhm.
because again, I haven't had my monthly, so have no idea when it happened, how far along. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing. They did that sonogram and I was almost 6 weeks and you could see the baby on the screen.
Oh my goodness. So
And
you
they was
were far
like,
enough.
yes, they was like, "What?
How did they
We
not?
literally just saw you 2 weeks ago." I said, "I don't know what's going on right now." It was crazy. So it
That
was,
is
yeah, it was
crazy.
definitely unexpected,
Yeah.
definitely unexpected, shocking but rewarding, all in the same sense. Hmm.
Wow. Okay. So take us on a journey of you finding out that you're pregnant and then like what's going through your mind at from that point up until you actually giving birth to your baby
Oh,
girl.
all the things.
And wait, let's pause because this is going to get that's going to get further on. Who was Markeisha before getting pregnant? Let's go from there first.
um, what's the way to say it? I was just free in a sense of no responsibilities as far as other than myself. I was just living my life, going to work, traveling all the time. Not that I don't now because I take my baby everywhere, but I mean, I was just having the time of my life, just being by myself.
Yeah.
All my friends had kids, so I was just doing my thing. Then I worked for the airlines at that time. So every time you looked up, I was in the air going
Yeah.
somewhere. Um, Not really, well, I was focused on trying to figure out what I wanted in life, but I wasn't going as hard as I am now, so to speak.
Mhm.
Still trying to figure out who I was. I'm sorry if you hear Madison in the back.
It's okay.
She is really talking. But yeah, just trying to figure things out and just having fun all at the same time. Dealing with things with my health and getting out of that and becoming into just myself and just getting myself back together because I did have a little bit of a health scare about two 2 to 3 years prior to me finding out about medicine.
Okay. So would you say the health scare, would you say that kind of prepared you or did it scare you even more when you found out you were pregnant? Like what was
Both,
it? Both? Okay.
because um, when I found out, well, before I found out I was pregnant, I had I started having issues with my eyes, which was the health problem. I started having issues in my eyes again out of nowhere, and I couldn't understand why. But it was because I was pregnant. pregnancy be triggering all type of things in your body. So I did end up figuring that out. But it definitely prepared me. It set me down for sure
Really?
because I was all over the place prior to that, just again living, being 20 something and just having the time of my life. Um, I was able to listen to God more. I had no choice but to focus on him. Honestly, COVID was going on all in the midst of that. So it was a lot. Definitely went through a state of depression.
Mhm.
Couldn't understand what was going on. I was questioning God. I was questioning myself. I was wondering, was I ever going to be able to be back to myself? It was just a lot going on in that time, but it definitely made me appreciate not only life, but the smallest things that we don't realize that we need the most. It definitely made me appreciate that because you don't realize how much you need your sight until you need your sight, or how much you need to hear until you need your ears.
Yeah. So you lost sight, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I lost my vision. I have, or well, let me not even use that word because the tongue is powerful. That the doctors diagnosed me with what they call uveitis, which is inflammation of the eye. It was coming from the body though. And basically my body was attacking my eyes, so to speak, in so many words. And it got worse over time. The first time I saw signs of it was in 2016
Mm-hmm.
after the loss of a baby. So I have been pregnant prior to Madison. In 2016, I lost that baby. And then about a few months after that, I thought I had pink eye. And I ended up finding out that I had some inflammation in my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And it pretty much went from there. It cleared up. It escalated. It got worse. Cleared up again. I started getting basically injections in my eye, like a steroid shot in my eye. And, all medications have side effects.
Right.
And unfortunately, I saw one of those side effects. It caused cataract. And it literally took my vision at the beginning of COVID, literally. 2020, COVID hit the scene and my eyes. So I literally did not see COVID. I didn't see it. I just heard about it.
Yeah.
The riots and all of that. I knew all of that was going on. When I did get out the house to go to the doctor, I knew I had to put on a mask, but I did not see what was really going on. Anxiety through the roof because I would just hear that the world was falling apart,
Yeah.
but I couldn't see it. Which so I just looked at it as God was just covering me from that because I was literally in the house. I had to learn to use my other senses. I was walking around the house like I could see. You would, if you didn't know, you would think I could see the way I was walking around my house. I was
Right.
still cooking and everything. I just had to figure it out. My hearing picked up so well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I could hear everything. I could hear a car pulling up outside my house. I could be in the backyard, in the back room, in the bathroom with the door closed. I could hear it. Everything just picked up because I couldn't see.
Because you lost one of your
Lost
senses.
one senses and the other ones picked up. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that definitely set me down. I had no choice but to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have no choice but to think. That's all I could do. Some days I felt like I was losing my mind.
Mm.
And other days it was just like I just have to take it for what it is. And I just prayed and prayed and I knew I would get out of it eventually. And eventually I did.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
God. Thank God. So it sounds like it deepened your faith with God, like it
Oh,
deepened your relationship.
definitely. I always knew him.
Yeah.
Grew up in the church. My mom always, you need to pray, you need to go to church, doing all of that. But at that moment, that's when me and him bonded on another level. Yeah.
Yeah. it's one thing when like when we're growing up and we're made to go to church, but when
Mhm.
you finally hit that place, however
Yes.
he uses it, it's like,
Yes.
hey, it's
Mhm.
me and you now. Like I'm no longer grandchild, like I'm your child now. Like
Right.
I need to know you right now.
Mhm.
So that's it's always interesting how we like what our stories are when we get to that place of actually having that close relationship, that intimate relationship with God. But just listening to you and just, I mean, I don't even have words to describe. Like I'm listening to you and you literally lost sight.
I did. And everything else in between that came with it, friends, all those people that was calling every weekend, let's go out, let's do this, let's go to lunch, let's go. Mm-mm.
Wow.
One of my favorite cousins and my best friend at the time was there. They literally used to help me with everything, log into my bank accounts for me, or order this and do these things. But I had a few friends that would check on me here and there, but like talk to me all the time like they were. No, you know how that goes. The
Wow.
stuff go on, and you going through a hard time. People disappear, and that's what happened.
For you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. So you had to have trust because you mentioned you had friends that would help you log
Oh my
into
God. Yes.
bank account.
Yeah,
That's
trust to a certain trust to a certain extent, and I'm laughing because, like I said, my anxiety was so high.
hmm
Um, it was to the point where I wouldn't get in the car with nobody but my mom.
yeah.
Um, my cousin tried to take me to the doctor one time, and I had an anxiety attack so bad, and we literally didn't even get off my street, and I just freaked out, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Take me back home." I couldn't do it. It took a because I couldn't see. Like
Mm.
my vision, to describe my vision, you know how the bathroom mirror fogs when you're in the shower?
hmm
That was my vision. So I saw colors.
So everything was a
Um,
blur.
everything was a blur, literally. That's the perfect way to describe it. Everything was a blur. hmm I saw colors. I would still watch TV. I could literally, and I still do this to this day.
hmm
Um, I will watch TV and I can literally tell you everything that's going on that movie, and I didn't see not one scene just because I was listening to it.
Wow.
hmm And to this day, I do it. I'll turn the TV on, and I might be scrolling on my phone, but I'm here. I hear everything going on.
I feel like that opened up a gift for you.
Yeah,
Like
it
I
does.
think
And I already was very observant. I was
yeah.
already very observant, so that didn't make it any better. I
Wow.
literally pay attention to even when you think I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah, I just feel like that was a gift, another gift that opened up for you. I mean,
Yep.
now your sight is restored, thank God.
Mhm.
And but in other areas, like your hearing has picked up even more. So it's not like once your eyesight was restored that your hearing went back down. Like, no, you have double hearing,
Yes,
right?
and then I think it's almost like he prepared me for motherhood in a sense because you have to pick up those senses anyways with these kids.
Yep.
Like I'm listening to you, but I'm also listening to her because she's in this room and I can't see her. So just to
Yeah.
make sure she's okay. Yeah, you pick up those senses because you have to make sure they okay and not doing stuff. They're getting into stuff.
Wow.
hmm
Wow. I'm loving it. Okay. So what is we're still considered young moms.
hmm
Um, what are some things that you're trying to navigate? You're still trying to navigate. Maybe you were doing it once before, but now since you're a mom, maybe you have to do it differently. Or um, has there been anything that you've wanted to or had to let go of because you're a mom? What are those different things?
Had to let go of well that old lifestyle.
hmm
Just not being able to get up and go or give up on things and doing life the way that I did prior to having a kid because I'm not just living for me, I'm living for her. Like she's my main focus. Like I know I can survive on
Yeah.
my own, but she can't.
Right.
I'm sorry, can we break 1 second?
Yeah, that's why I can hear her say, "Mommy,
Yeah,
me."
give me 1 second. Okay, Christian, I'm sorry. She's playing with that iPad and something happened. She couldn't get it back right.
Mommy.
Yeah. She's something else. But yeah, I can't live like how I used to pretty much just get up and go or financially too. I'm it's not just about me. She needs something all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally. So that's my main focus. I just like that's priority.
Mhm.
Definitely priority. So
What would you
it's definitely
say
gonna change.
as far as who you're becoming? I think sometimes, when we're getting into mommy era, and sometimes we think that we're all alone, like we think that we're the only ones going through certain things. What are some, like, how has friendships and identity changed for you? Different relationships. How has just who Markeisha is becoming, how has that had to change because of being a mom? And
Um,
I'm asking that because I want to give another mom hope, to let her know, like, if she's going through identity change, she find herself, maybe her body's changing and she's having to accept it in a new way.
yeah, all
Just
of
everything.
all of those things. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh my goodness. Still to this day, it's certain things I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like myself, but this it's me. Like I just had to come to terms that this is just who I am now. I have a kid. I'm definitely way more goal driven. Um, I'm way more emotional.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to say, because I was the one that I'm not about to cry. I'm not, especially not in front of anybody.
Yeah.
Now I'm more, I empathize more, I understand more. So I'm so soft hearted, especially when it comes to kids. I've always been like that, but it's like 10 times worse now. When I see kids, I'm just like, oh my goodness, now that I have a baby, I understand. And then it's life and with friends. I mean, you gonna lose friends with or without a kid. In my eyes, sometimes I just have to understand that some friends for a season. I don't care if that season lasted 15, 20 years
Mhm.
and that friendship end. It's very unfortunate and it hurts.
Yeah.
But sometimes that you can't take that person with you with the
Yeah.
path that you're going down, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you lose friends because you have kids and they don't, and that's okay too. It's also okay to build friendships at our grown age now, even though it's harder.
Right. Right.
Because mom tell me not to say this, but I don't have no friends for real. I don't. I've never been the one that had a bunch of friends. I've never
Right.
been like that. And
Hmm.
the friends I do have, I don't consider them friends. They're more family.
Hmm.
So I guess that's probably why
I
I
can
say
see that.
that.
Hmm.
So I just never been one to have friends. I've always wanted to make friends, especially now more mom friends than anything because anybody else, they just want to go out and turn up and do all of that. And that's fine sometimes,
Hmm.
but can't do that all the time no more with a kid. I gotta take my
Right.
baby with me. Majority of the time, she's gonna have to come unless I just get a free night off, and that's very rare. So
Yeah.
it's okay though. And I'm okay with that. I've come to the conclusion that it's just okay. You just have to learn to be okay with it. You don't need you don't need no friends with God. If you ask me, you better talk to him like that's your friend. He hear you.
He sure does. He sure does, and I thank him for it.
Yep.
I thank him for it.
Mhm.
I would say one of the things that I've had to learn is that it is okay to, in different seasons, We have friends that come, or people, just people in life. Some people are in your what is it, a season, a moment, and a lifetime.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've had to learn, even at the age that I'm at now, 35, that it is okay to, okay, in this season, I'm having to let go. And it doesn't mean that the person is bad. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
that, it doesn't have to be a bashing moment. It's just a simple fact, like, hey, this is what God is doing in my life, and I can't stay where I'm at. And
Right.
at some point, it gets to a place where it's almost like you're forced to move forward. Like you have no other option but to move forward, because if you stay, something in you is going to die.
Yes. Yes. And then that I feel like when you stay, it grows a dislike.
It does.
Um, and then now you turn into somebody you don't want to be.
Hmm.
It cause an argument, or now you're not liking that person. You don't even. It doesn't even have to be like that.
Right.
People have to understand it's okay to let go. It's okay to move on, even though you don't want to.
Right.
What's wrong with these kids now? And I sound so old, but seriously, they don't understand how to let go.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't. They don't. They don't understand or don't know how to accept rejection.
Yes. Yes. Rejection. And I'll just be honest, I struggled with that when I was younger. I think, um let me break it down just a little bit. I struggled with it, but at the same time, I've always been one to be okay by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was okay with being by myself too much,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, like, we still need people. Me, on
Mm-hmm.
the other hand, I'm like, I'm independent. I know how to get what I need. Um, and I have God.
Yeah.
So it was just more like, okay, God, I'm good. But he's like, hey, but I want to use people to bless you. Like, I want, and I guess just the art of just having friends. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like what I see now, in society, I don't know if there's like this lost art of friendship, like just having people to hang around, or just to have that girl talk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But even becoming a mom, I think that's one of the things that I'm having to pick back up in my life, because that was something that I laid down as soon as I became a mom, not knowing, but it was just more focused on, I have to take care of my son.
Yeah.
So you don't even think about the things that you're laying down as you
Mm-hmm.
take up your mantle, your responsibility as a
Yeah.
mom. So that's one of the things that I think is just, it's important. I know that we are supposed to have, and I'm listening to you, because you said you call your friends family. So that's why you say you don't have friends. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of, in society, we don't really see friends anymore. Like, you don't see it like how we grew up.
Not at all. And then when I say I call my friends family, it's still very few. I
Yeah,
mean,
very close
I'm
circle.
talking about less than five
Yeah,
that I'm close with. I just
and that's okay.
mm-hmm.
That is, you need to know who's around.
Yep.
Yeah, this is good. So, outside of being a mom, who are you?
Uh, who am I? I am. I don't even know how to answer that or explain it. Let me say that. Just think I'm this caring, goal driven person, just out to push it, out to encourage. I had to learn that that is who I am. I'm the shoulder.
Yeah,
I had to learn that I'm the shoulder, and that's okay. It's draining sometimes, but that's just who I am.
need it.
I'm the one everybody calls
Hmm.
to lean on for the advice. So I definitely have to lean on him, because who I supposed to talk to?
Right.
Everybody's talking to me. So that's who I am. I'm the creator. I'm the the sister, the friend. I'm all that and in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all the things, honestly. And I'm learning that, still learning more of that as I go.
Hmm. Okay. Would you say, how would you want to pass that down to your daughter?
Um,
Or do you think that that's something that is worth teaching in today's society?
some, yes. The caring part definitely worth teaching. My passions or my hobbies, that type of stuff, definitely worth teaching. I don't want her to feel like she has to be that person that I am, though. I want her to be Madison.
Yeah.
I don't want her to be Markeisha.
Hmm.
I want her to know that she can be whoever she wants to be and some. But I, would definitely show her why I am who I am, or why I do the things I do, or, you know, cater to people or whatever it might be. I definitely would pass some of it down, but I always tell her, remember who you are, like, know who you are. My mom used to tell me that all the time, and I live by that. Mhm.
Okay. So I have two more things, but the first one is what does being a mom mean to you? Like when we talk about embracing the gift of motherhood, what comes to mind when you hear that?
Unconditional love. A love I don't ever have to question.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
That's
I
good.
it's it's so rewarding. That's really the main thing, is peace. Um, it's something that I know I will always embrace. I know I don't ever have to wonder about it. I don't never have to worry about her leaving my side. I
Mhm.
know she will always be there. I will never have to question it. Caring, nurturing, just all of those things is what it brings to me.
Mhm. Okay.
Mhm.
So we talked about you being a creator,
Mhm.
and so you have two new coloring books out.
I do.
Tell us about the coloring books.
The first one I came out with in April is called My Crown, My Color.
Mhm.
It's afros and affirmations for little girls. Just God gave me the vision randomly in the middle of the night. That's my quiet time. So I'll be up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just doing things, and just gave me the vision to put it on paper. To make it a coloring book, make it something that my baby would enjoy one day, embracing who she is as a little black girl, embracing her hair, just embracing who she is. So I did color pages of different little black girls with different natural hairstyles and different affirmations. And then I just came out with one that released on yesterday, called um, look, I don't forgot the name of my own book.
Guys got me
God's
covered.
got me covered in color. Yes. It's more faith based. Just letting kids know that, love God. It's different. It's over 70 pages of different things, vacation Bible school pictures, kids playing in the yard of the church, just all faith-based things, for kids to enjoy, just to know that that's okay, to keep God first.
Mhm. Okay.
And I also have two more coming. I'm working on one now, and it's career book. You can do anything, you can be anything, and it's any career you can think of would probably be in that book.
Love it.
with
Okay.
different quotes and affirmations just to let these kids know that don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So would you say that's your message
those
to?
are my messages.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
these coloring books are, the theme is around children of color.
children of color. Yes.
I love
Hmm.
it. All right. Why is this so important for you to share that message to little kings and little queens of color?
Because society just, especially the word, it's always been bad even before we got here. And unfortunately, racism is still a thing.
Mhm.
Um, we still get taunted, we still get talked about, and I just want them to know that we are who we are, and you're beautiful in the skin that you're in. We look different. Our
Yeah.
hair is different, skin colors are different, so you just have to learn to embrace it,
Right. Right.
especially for little boys. And I'm working on that one as well. The black men in society, they it's scary.
Speak.
It's scary for both. I couldn't imagine having a son
Yeah.
because I probably would be even more protective just with the way that every time you look up is something about a cop shooting a black boy, or it's something,
Right.
and
Mhm.
it's so heartbreaking. So definitely want to keep sending those positive messages to let them know to be who you are, embrace it, stand
Yeah.
strong in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely love it. So, and this is really good because I have a son, and so uh, it is, there are different challenges that come with that.
Hmm.
But even as the moms that are listening to this podcast, my hope and prayer is that you understand, like, you're not alone. Like, you have other Black moms who are standing with you. Like, you know none of us are in this alone. Sometimes it may feel like it,
Right.
but none of us are in this alone. We still have the same challenges. We still have some of the same, um, just learning how to navigate certain situations. um, but just to know, like, you are not alone in this journey of motherhood. And at the end of the day, despite what society tries to create, or the picture that is, that's painted about Black kings and queens, we are still we're still royalty. We are still God's children, and we
Yes,
have everything that we need to be who God has called us to be.
definitely.
So we don't need anyone to validate who we are. Um, what will be your message to a young mom who just entered into her new mommy era?
Don't give up. It's hard. The resources are out there. Um, Keep God first before anything.
Yeah.
Love your baby, and if you need help, ask for it. It's okay. A lot of times we don't ask for help because either we're scared or pride. Because
Mm-hmm.
I still struggle with that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. It's definitely okay. But love your baby and embrace that motherhood. It's nothing like it. It's
Yeah.
nothing like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want, first of all, I enjoyed this.
I did
So thank you
too.
so much for being willing to come on. Thank you for just sharing encouragement, sharing your story, and being courageous enough to share your story, and just letting there's this saying that when one woman wins, we all win. And so I admire you. I admire your motherhood journey. I admire how you're pushing out these coloring books. And I know if it's helping me, it's helping another mom that's watching this podcast. So I just want to share that with you, and thank you so much.
Thank
Where can
you for the
we
opportunity.
Absolutely. Where can we find you on social media for those who want to follow you?
Facebook, Instagram are my two that I'm on. I'll send them to you so you can put it in the description
Okay,
because
awesome.
spelling it out. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just send it to you. That'll make it easier.
Okay. So I'll get the links. I'll go ahead and post the social media links as well as the links to the coloring books in the show notes.
So
And
much.
that way, you know, for those of you watching, you can go and follow Markeisha. You can support, get the coloring books. They're absolutely beautiful. And so
Thank you. Thank
that's
you.
that's all we have. So
Thank you so much for
without further
opportunity.
ado,
I enjoyed it. I was nervous, but
yeah, I was
definitely
too, but hey,
enjoyed
we made it. All right, well, we'll go ahead and log off. I hope and pray that y'all got something out of this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all in the next video.
All
Have a good
right.
week.
Bye.
Bye.